The first rule of success in F&I is Shaka Dyson here, motivational speaker, record-breaking F&I trainer, and your friend in the automotive business. And today, we're going to talk about the #1 rule for success in F&I. Keep showing up. Folks, you gotta keep showing up. Nothing happens in your dealership until you show up. No deal is made. No product is sold back in F&I. No revenue is generated until you show up. And when I talk about showing up, I don't mean like merely just being there, like you go and clock in to the dealership. Oh, and by the way, if you're late, then you're not showing up. But coming in with the right attitude. How's your attitude? Is your attitude adjusted? Or are you still pissed off from something that happened at home or from being stuck in traffic? How is your attitude? How is your approach? What does your approach look like? Are you late or are you early? Are you walking in with some pep in your step, or are you walking in slouchy? How's your clothes? Are your clothes hanging out? Or do you look like a professional? What does your approach look like? And lastly, what does your effort look like? How's your effort? What kind of effort are you putting in? Do you have a process put in place? Are you showing up? When you get that first deal of the day and it's a cash deal, what type of effort are you putting in on that deal? Or does it automatically demotivate your attitude? You know, is your approach automatically sideways? You know, is your effort automatically put on the back burner just because you got a cash deal? How is it that you are showing up? Imagine if you had a bad meeting with your GM first thing in the morning. You know, the GM is coming down on the entire team and more specifically you because you didn't perform well this weekend. And then right after you got out of that meeting, you went and got a cash deal. Would you show up? How do you show up in that instance? You don't generate any revenue in that deal because you didn't show up. Your attitude wasn't right. You didn't put in the right effort. You didn't show up. You get your 5th cash deal for the day. How are you showing up? What does your attitude look like? You know, the customer walks in at 8:45 at night and your dealership closes at 9 o'clock and you have somewhere to be at 9:30. How do you show up in that instance? You're not generating revenue in that instance because you're not showing up. Your attitude isn't right. Your approach isn't right, and you aren't putting in the effort. You walk back there and print up the paperwork and sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. You're not showing up. You have to show up. Look, imagine if Steve Jobs didn't show up. Imagine what Apple would look like right now if Steve Jobs quit showing up. Imagine what society would look like right now if Martin Luther King stopped showing up. Imagine what things would look like, how dark the world would be if Thomas Edison stopped showing up. If he stopped trying to invent the light bulb, like, you know, he got 9,500 failures into it and he quit. Because that's what not showing up is. It's quitting. It's quitting in your approach. It's quitting in your effort. And worst, it's quitting in your attitude. Listen, the world is a much brighter place because Thomas Edison persisted. Listen, the very first rule to success in F&I is to keep on showing up. Now, how do we do it? How is it that I stay motivated to show up every single day? How is it that I stay motivated to keep showing up and be persistent every single minute of every single day? Listen, you have to remember what you're doing it for. Like, what is the big goal? What is the big reason that you're doing it for? You're doing it for your family. You're doing it for your family, for your wife or for your husband, for your children. You're doing it for them. You're doing it for their success and their future. And you're doing it for your future self. Imagine you in 2 years, where you're going to be at in your life and in your career in 2 years. Your future self needs you right now to show up. It needs whoever it is that I'm speaking to right now. Your future self is counting on you to show up. So I need you to ingest this information. Know that you're going to face challenges. You're going to face hardships every day that you're ambitious, every day that you're pursuing goals. You are going to be faced with hardships, but it's up to you to show up. Listen, challenges and hardships, the only way that they can win is if you don't show up. Listen, you got to show up. Step up, show up, get your attitude right, get your approach right. Keep showing up. You want to see how I show up? Watch this. All right, so who we got? Who we got? Who is it?
Who is it?
Who is it?
Come on, man.
Who is it?
It's me.
Look at that. Look at that.